everyone, welcome to the next session of simple stresses and strain. In this session I will start with a derivation of change in length of a simple bar when subjected to the load P. Here you can see there is a bar AB. It is subjected to load P, which is of tensile type from both the ends. The length of the bar is L. When I apply a tensile load, there will be elongation as we have discussed in the previous session. So the bar elongates and you can see the length was L and there is a small change in length delta L. So the total length of the bar now becomes L plus delta L. Here I have written some notations that I have used. P is the load acting on the bar AB, A is the cross section area of the bar, L is the length of the bar, and delta L is going to be the change in length of the bar. Now I want to find a relation for delta L, which is the change in length of the bar. By Hooke's law, we know that sigma is equal to capital E into small e, which means stress is directly proportional to strain with an elastic limit. Also we know that sigma, the stress, is nothing but load upon area. So this is another relation that I know. I also know the formula of strain along the longitudinal axis will be delta L by L. So this becomes my relation 3. If I substitute 2 and 3 in equation 1, then therefore, to the left hand side is sigma, so I will write P by A is equal to capital E into delta L by L. If I just rearrange this, I will get therefore delta L is equal to PL upon EA. This is the equation or the relation of change in length. This is extremely important. This is the relation which we are going to use throughout the study of this chapter. There is one thing which needs to be noted, that this delta L formula is applicable for increase or decrease in length, which means increase in length can happen when I apply a tensile type of load. Suppose if I happen to apply a compressive type of load, then there will be a decrease in length. So the same formula can be used for both these cases. Now this is a diagram which you see. So in this diagram, if I have to change, it would be something like this. So this is the load of compressive type on the same bar AB. So in that case again you can use the same formula of delta L for tensile or compressive type of loading. If you have a positive answer of delta L, it would mean, or it would signify that the bar is under tensile loading, and if you get a negative answer, it would signify that the bar is under compressive loading. Next I will take up a numerical based on this formula which we have just discussed. A square steel rod 20 mm by 20 mm. So the area is given as 20 mm by 20 mm. Which is 400 mm square. In section is to carry an axial load compressive of 100 kN. So the load P is given as 100 kN, which is 100 into 10 raised to 3 Newton of compressive type. Please note that in strength of material, I will be solving all numerical preferably in Newton and mm format. You can use any other format of your choice. I will be just bringing them down to Newton and mm format so that it is easy for me to solve. Calculate the shortening in length of 50 mm. So the length L is given as 50 mm. Take E value as 2.14 into 10 raised to 8 kilonewton per square per meter square. Now I need to convert this into Newton and square as well. So first I'll write 2.14 into 10 raised to 8 kilonewton to Newton is multiplied with 10 raised to 3. So this becomes Newton divided by, I have to bring meter square to square. We know that 1 meter is equal to 10 raised to 3 So when I have 1 meter square, it will be 10 raised to 3 raised to 2 square. Please read this as raised to 2 and not square. So according to mathematics, 10 raised to a raised to b is 10 raised to a into b. So it becomes 3 2s are 6 square. So here I can just write down 10 raised to 6. When you cancel out 10 raised to 3 with 10 raised to 6, 3 remains. When you cut off this 3 power over here, 5 remains. So it is 2.14 into 10 raised to 5 Newton per square. This is the value of E given to me. I will have to find delta L. It is mentioned that there is a shortening in length, which means delta L will be of decrease type. Since I am not adding a negative sign, I will just write decrease, or else you can take a negative sign here due to compressive load, and accordingly you can adjust at the end and say it is a decreasing type or shortening in length. Now I have just derived the formula delta L is equal to PL upon EA. So the value of P is 100 into 10 raised to 3. The value of L is 50. The value of E is 2.14 into 10 raised to 5 and area is 400. When you solve this, you will get the value of delta L as 0.0584 I'll just write here it is of decrease type. So this is how the numerical has to be solved. Let's take up another numerical. A hollow CI cylinder 4 meter long. So my data starts with hollow CI cylinder 4 meter long. So I'll write the length L as 4 meter, which becomes 4000 mm, 300 mm outer diameter. Now if I draw a hollow cylinder, it will be something like this. This is the outer diameter, say D, and this is the inner diameter, say small d, and this distance will be the thickness value, the gap that you see here. It is given the outer diameter, so D is given as 300 mm, and it is given the thickness of the metal T is how much? 50 mm. Now it is very evident from the figure that capital D will be small d plus T plus T. So this will be small d plus 2 times T. So when I substitute here, therefore 300 is equal to small d I do not know, 2 into T value is given as 50. Therefore small d turns out to be 200 mm. Thickness of metal 50 mm is subjected to a central load on the top when standing straight. So you have a cylinder which is standing straight. So this will be the top view. The stress produced is 75,000 kilonewton per meter square. So this is the value of sigma stress which is given to me. So I'll note down here sigma is equal to 75,000 kilonewton per meter square. This will again get converted into Newton and mm square format. So I will write 75,000 into 10 raised to 3 Newton divided by mm square, and here it will be 10 raised to 6. So 10 raised to 6 gets completely cancelled over here. So what remains is 75 Newton per mm square. Assume E for Ci as 1.5 into 10 raised to 8 kilonewton per meter square. So the value of E is also given to me. E is given as 1.5 into 10 raised to 8 kilonewton per meter square, which is 1.5 into 10 raised to 8 into 10 raised to 3 Newton divided by 10 raised to 6 mm square. So 6 and 8 gets cancelled, 2 remains. I have 1.5 into 10 raised to 5 Newton per mm square. Now I am supposed to find magnitude of the load, which means the value of P. I have to calculate longitudinal strain produced, which is small e, and third is total decrease in length, which is delta L. So I'll just mention here to find first P, second small e, and third is delta L. Now based on this data, I will start my calculations. The first thing that I need to find is the value of P. Since I know the value of sigma, I can calculate very easily. Sigma is P by A. The value of sigma is known to me as 75,000 kilonewton per meter square, which turned out to be 75 Newton per mm square. And for calculating area of a hollow cylinder, which is very simple, the formula is pi by 4 outer diameter square minus inner diameter square. So I will just use the formula and I'll get the answers. So here I'll substitute 75 P divided by pi by 4 capital D square minus small d square, which I can write as P upon pi by 4, outer diameter value is 300 square minus 200 square. Therefore, the value of load turns out to be 2.945 kilonewton, meganewton. So this is the first answer that I obtained. When I have to calculate the second thing, which is the value of small e, there are two formulas of small e that I know as of now. Sigma is equal to capital E into small e, and small e also is delta L by L. So these are the two formula that I know. I have just written in the rough. Now small e is delta L by L. This I cannot use because I know the length, but I do not know the value of delta L. So I will have to stick to this first formula, that is sigma is equal to capital E into small e. The value of sigma is 75. Value of E I found to be 1.5 into 10 raised to 5, and I need to find the value of small e, which turns out to be 5 into 10 raised to minus 4. And the third thing that I need to find is the value of delta L. So I know the formula over here, small e is equal to delta L by L. Since I know the value of small e and I know the value of L is 4000, therefore delta L is equal to 2 mm. So these are the answers that I obtained. Next, I will discuss about types of materials. There are two classifications of types of materials. The first one is based on elasticity of the material. So there are two types of materials. One is classified as elastic and the other is classified as plastic. Suppose if you apply load on a body and it gets deformed on the application of load, But when you remove the load and the body comes back to its original shape and size, such kind of materials are called as elastic material. For example, rubber. And the materials which do not come back to the original shape and size when the load is removed are called as plastic materials. For example, clay, lead, and many more of such type. The next type of classification is based on the ductility of the material. Ductile materials are the one which undergo considerable deformation when there is a load applied on it, but there is no rupture and it will retain the deformation even when the load is removed. For example, gold, platinum, copper, iron, etc. And brittle materials are those which immediately get ruptured when you apply some load. For example, glass, concrete, cast iron. So these are some types of materials which is important to be noted. In the next session, we will be discussing about the stress strain diagram of ductile and brittle materials. I hope you have understood this session. If you have any doubts, please let me know in the comment section. If you want me to solve a particular numerical, let me know in the comment section. I'll provide you my mail ID and you can send me the question. I'll provide you the solution in the upcoming videos. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell icon for latest updates of my videos. I'll see you in the next session. Thank you.